Oh, hello there.
Got a few minutes?
Do I? Of course I do. You're my favorite Lancer.
I am. Or am I your only Lancer?
Yeah, mostly, yes. But you do know that I pick up the odd extra contract. A fella's got to eat. I like to be open to opportunity when it strikes. That's cool, right?
Admit it, though. You won't find a better partner than me.
Never said I could.
We do make a good team.
Okay. Don't go getting all mushy on me. Shut it down.
Okay.
Moving on.
Anyway, things look better now that Corvus is interested.
You rescuing that Matthias fellow reminded me of the Scar nightmare that was our first contract.
Times 10. That was crazy.
I'd only been in Tarsus for a few weeks, and here I was, working with a Lancer who's survived the Heart of Rage. I was pretty chuffed. Life for this poor, wayward cipher was suddenly looking up.
What do you mean, poor wayward?
After I left the Satomi, I bounced around a lot. Had a gig on a Strider, wandered around Antium. You may have noticed I get bored very easily.
Life's what you make it.
You really believe that?
Yeah, I do.
I envy you. I'll have to think about that.
Oh, and is it true what they say? That every cipher's a little broken? Since we're having a bit of a heart-to-heart, thought maybe I could ask. Unless that's getting too mushy.
Well, talking about all that still makes me too angry to be mushy.
I've opened a can of worms.
No. Knowledge is power, right? So yeah, every cipher is a little broken. Or a lot broken. You don't hone the ability to link minds without suffering a loss somewhere else. It's different for everyone. Often it's small, but sometimes it leaves you unable to function.
Like dead?
Huh? No, never dead.
You seem to have come out okay. Plus, you're a great cipher.
Thank you. And when I'm my own Lancer, then everyone will see how extra amazing I am.
Why not just try to be a better cipher?
I thought life's what you make it. Gotta buy into your own idealism, mate. Plus, there are plenty of level blah blah ciphers around. What's amazing about that?
Should I ask how it's going?
With the lessons? Well, it's more of a book, actually, but I'm working hard. Turns out I'm a natural.
You know, it took me years, right?
Yes, but that's you. Anyway...
You're an interesting guy.
Thanks. But, word of warning. I wouldn't get too close if I were you. Kidding! Just sharing the insecurity around. Seriously, though, that means a lot.
If you want to see the latest, drop by.
Don't trust these new freelancers.
I'm telling you straight up. Sometimes sauce can be the worst thing, you know? Hey, freelancer!
Hey.
I can't believe I'm talking to you. You're like the most badass freelancer in Fort Tarsus. My name's Neeson.
Hello?
Hey, aren't you teamed up with that cipher, Owen?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, no reason. I just thought you might be concerned about that cipher school thing of his.
What are you talking about?
Okay, all right, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but I heard he got over-altered during his training.
Over-altered?
Yeah, I guess it glitched him up pretty bad.
What are you talking about?
I can't say for sure, but that's what people are saying, and you gotta admit, Owen is a little goofy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Just telling you what I heard.
Thanks, but that kind of information isn't useful.
Yeah, I get it. You already knew. But if you ever need any info on anyone else in the fort, I'm pretty plugged in.
Yeah, no thanks.
No need to close that door. Let's just agree to maybe meeting in the future.
Or let's not.
Yeah, I got you. Catch you later.
Hi again.
Freelancer. Fancy meeting you here.
Were you trying to make a joke, Bryn?
I'm attempting something new. I don't think I enjoyed it. I should tell you, I'm impressed with how you've handled yourself on missions.
Freelancers. We get the job done.
Sometimes, from what I've heard.
You asked me for help, and now you're insulting me.
Sorry, I apologize. You're right. I've just always thought of freelancers in a certain way.
Well, let me guess. Unreliable mercenaries with a recruitment problem?
Close enough. Though that doesn't describe you so far.
How do you even have an opinion of freelancers if I'm the first one you've worked with?
From radio shows and other Sentinels. Have you ever considered Sentinel life?
They've asked. I've never been tempted.
Really?
Really? You seem good at what you do, but it's too many rules and regs for me.
Oh, rules and regs keep the world in order. A place for everything.
Sounds like you used that line before.
My mother's favorite. She was a Sentinel too, and she also loved rules.
Isn't working with freelancers without permission breaking those rules?
If the Sentinels don't adapt, the fort won't be around much longer to protect.
And isn't that adapting just breaking the rules with purpose?
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I'll see you around.
Potentially.
Tradition is not an excuse for a sloppy workplace. Thank you.
For what?
For stepping close so you don't impede foot traffic.
You were off to the side, so it seemed to make sense.
My apologies. I assumed you would recognize me from one of my public safety forums.
Sorry, I was not aware those were happening.
My name is Pernell Blatch, and I'm the fort custodian. I maintain and improve all public works and spaces.
Sounds like a big job.
It's enormous. I'm seeking public input on an initiative to improve life in Fort Tarsis. Would you care to take part?
I might.
Excellent. Please answer the following questions. Do you A, believe the fort needs immediate improvements to function more efficiently? Or B, recognize the fort has glaring inefficiencies that must be corrected?
Aren't those statements both the same?
No. One suggests immediate action, and the other identifies issues, then proposes solutions.
I'm not sure the fort wants to change.
The fort must change. It's unsafe in so many ways. Take the walking issue, for example.
Did you say walking?
Yes. People walk and stop wherever they please. This causes stoppages, bumping, and even pedestrian rage. I'm proposing we implement lanes and foot traffic rules of way.
Fort residents will never buy into it.
I disagree. People said we didn't need the fountain, but now I'm spearheading the campaign to restore it.
How does a fountain make the fort more efficient?
The fountain creates a meeting place and instills pride in the community. Happy people are more productive.
Is the fountain working?
Not at the moment. There's a piping issue. It was nice chatting with you. I'm off to a meeting regarding proper personal equipment in the forge area.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. It's not easy keeping this fort safe.
Hey, you're a freelancer, right? I've heard things about you.
What kind of things?
Some of the Arcanists said you stopped a cataclysm. Or a giant Ursix. Or both.
That was me, yeah. It was, kind of both.
Interesting. You're one to watch. I don't want to say too much just yet, but be mindful. A lot of eyes will be on you soon.
What does that mean?
It means this is the time to show what you're made of.
You've got a contract for me. I'm happy to hear it.
Not a contract, exactly. Have you ever heard of the Path to Glory?
It's like a ranking of Lancers, right?
That's not all it is. There are certain rewards offered to those on the path.
Rewards offered by who exactly?
The Emperor. Put yourself on the path, freelancer. What you do will matter, I promise.
Hey.
You must be right. Yarrow said I'd find you here.
Yeah. You're the one who flew in with a hail of bullets and flaming glory.
Not sure that sounds right.
Bet your ass it was. Stellar work, Big Star. You gotta live that crap out there. That was your moment. Me? I was looking forward to performing some community service with my sword Nelly.
You named your sword.
Well, why not? Besides you, she's the last thing standing between me and the cockroaches. So, I'm guessing you're here to stay. You've been keeping to yourself, but I've seen you around.
If there's work, yeah. I get the impression business is picking up.
Been tough for a while. Couple of weeks, I was barely scraping by. But man, there's nothing like being a freelancer, right? So hey, thanks for showing up when you did. I owe you one.
Glad it worked out.
Anyway, I'm probably still bleeding somewhere. Should get that fixed. I'll see you around, Big Star.
Well, I know you. You're the hotshot who silenced that Shaper thing, yeah?
Word travels fast.
I keep an ear to the ground. Best way to stay alive out here. Maxine. Call me Max. Welcome to my bar.
You're the owner?
Am now. Got it off Dusty in a game of cards. Pretty sure he threw that hand.
You really think he'd bet his entire bar and throw the hand?
In a heartbeat. If he ever had a heart to begin with. Dusty managed to lose the deed to his bar and his shirt, and the very next morning headed out of town. Only he didn't make it.
Oh, hold up a second. What happened to the last owner?
He was on a strider to Antium with the governor and it went down. Some say accident, some say a hit. Nobody made it back and the black box went missing.
You think Dusty was the target? Or the governor?
Dusty owed a lot to the wrong people, but dead men don't pay their debts. The governor? Not really worth the trouble, you know what I mean? Dusty's not the only owner to die in glitched circumstances, just the latest. People think this place is cursed.
So the bar is cursed. Great. You know, I've got enough trouble as it is.
You'll be fine. It only gets owners and dine and dashers. And I may be lying about the last one. You're doing good work around here, freelancer. I'll get you a tab. First one's on the house. And if there's something you need, maybe I know some people. We'll see. Okay?
Remember when this place was called the Shifty Koroks?
First, that only lasted 2 months. And second, don't call it that.
Who was the owner then?
Looks like this is your lucky day.
Why's that?
You just bumped into the oldest man in Fort Tarsis. Name's Jarek.
Nice to meet you.
You too. You know, you don't live as long as I have without seeing some things.
Yeah? Like what?
I was there when the scars swarmed the fort's terraces. It was a bloodbath. Happened over 50 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. I was also there when the scars came over the walls. What do you think about that?
I think you've seen a lot.
You bet I have. More than you ever will, that's for sure.
I hope you're right.
Oh, I am, freelancer. I've lived a life filled with bloodshed and disaster. I've survived Strider ambushes, Dominion attacks and outlaws. I've even run from wyverns. I've seen enough death the last 50 lifetimes. And yet, somehow, I'm still kicking.
So what's your secret to survival?
It ain't no secret. I'm a pragmatist. I always did what I had to in order to survive.
Sounds like you made some tough choices.
You tell me. I was in a mining crew digging for ore near Heliost when the main shaft collapsed. We were trapped behind a solid wall of rock. We had no idea of how long it would take for the rescue party to dig us out. I was lucky enough to find a bottle of water. But there were 6 of us.
1 bottle of water for 6 miners? How many of you made it out?
I was the only survivor.
Why were you the only survivor?
If I'd have shared that water, nobody would have lived.
So you chose to let 5 people die to save yourself?
I told you, I'm a pragmatist.
I guess that's why you're the oldest man in Fort Tarsus.
Don't you judge me. You've seen death. You've done things. I can see it in your eyes. It's usually a glint of sadness or knowledge, but in some people, that glint turns into a gleam. And a gleam means they want to see more death. Be careful, freelancer. I still see a glint in your eyes.
Ah, freelancer. What can Matthias Errol Sumner help you with today?
I just wanted to see how you were doing.
My research is progressing. I'm still alive and very happy about it. I intended to buy you a drink as thanks for the rescue, but then I remembered being banned from the bar.
You're banned? Why?
For, starting fights. Not proud of it, it just happened. 1 minute someone's mocking Von Blatt's theory of diurnal obsolescence, the next minute you got bloody knuckles. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Emotions take over.
Exactly. Sometimes old impulses take over.
Old impulses?
Growing up in the streets of Helios, you pick up some bad habits. Discourse, dialogue, civility, the Arcanist ways, those I had to learn. Lashing out is instinct.
I didn't know you grew up on the streets.
I don't advertise it.
You should be proud. You're a survivor. This world needs more Arcanists like you.
Like me? You want more kids orphaned young who have to fend for themselves?
I didn't mean...
I get it. Fewer soft, bookish types, more bloody knuckles and cynicism. You know, I prefer a world where no one gets calluses on their soul.
But that's not the world we live in.
Complete acceptance of the world's failings inhibits the will to change it. And we can change it. Through knowledge, we can make the world better. That's what the Arcanist Order does. That's what I do. Speaking of which, I have some experiments to oversee. Don't want something to blow up and make orphans. Heard Tassin mumbling about the Dominion? Did you know I once hid in a mound of rotting fungus to avoid one of their patrols? Rashes for days.
Anything about that guy and the thing? I learned that one hard.
Uncle Bonnie's